Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Today is a wonderful day to begin with, and this is my first video on HR strategy. And this video is for the employer, businessmen, HR professional, students, the line manager, department manager, or whosoever is either doing the business or working in any organizations. So you are my target audience because Warren Buffett has said that a person or organization who has a plan has a high probability of success than a genius who does not have a plan. Therefore, the importance of plan is extremely vital for a success. So since 2026 is starting, all organizations, be it small, medium size or large size organizations and their management are busy making plan. So in this context, our agenda today is about manpower plan. Why manpower planning? Because as you know, for any organization, the most expense or the business expenditure goes on to the employee salaries. Most of the companies, depending upon the nature, it starts from 30 to 40% up to 70-80% in service industry. The expense is on manpower. So how do you make a manpower plan where you don't have excess manpower also and you don't have shortages also? These are the two big problems in any organizations. Whenever we talk to the owners or management, they are struggling with top line. When they are concerned about the top line and bottom line, top line means the total revenue sales, and the bottom top line is the sales, and bottom line is how much margin you are making. Based on that only a company has a profitability. So in that, the most expensive part is the employee salaries. Therefore, how do you manage the human resource in a way where you can effectively utilize your resources, you get the best productivity and output from them, your employees are happy, and your organization in an ideal situation? So what is manpower? So we'll talk about 2-3 things in this video. We'll talk about the business. So how is manpower planning linked with the HR strategy? How is HR strategy linked with the business strategy? How is the business, what kind of business scenarios are there based on which the business makes different kind of decisions? Because by the end of the year, HR professional in executive levels or middle management level, we approach to the top management and the middle management, give us the budget, give us the plan and everything. And at times the middle management or the top line management, if they do not if they have not done the profit and loss of the company, if they have not done the proper planning at the top corporate level, they are not able to answer the questions. So basically, if the recruiter goes and says to the department head, how many people do you need in the first quarter of 2026? If the department has not done the proper budgeting and planning, he will not be able to answer. So this is where we understand the linkage from the top corporate, from the business strategy to the top management decision in terms of the strategy, HR strategy, manpower planning, and how do we do the manpower planning. So this topic is a little bit of understanding business, HR strategy, in execution. So first of all, manpower planning is a very detailed and technical terms, but we'll make it very simple in a layman language so everybody can understand. Even the people who are not into HR profession can understand. Somebody who is in HR, somebody who is a supervisor, manager, department head, project in charge, everybody can understand. So this is where I will try to make it very simple without non-HR technical jargons. But yes, it's a HR topic, so you will have some words or some topics or jargons that we have to use it. So first of all, let's say in 2026, how many people do you need in organization? And based on that, how many people do you need will depend upon what is the people that business will need. Let's say you have a computer company and you are selling thousands, 1,000, computer in a year. So and you have around 100 employees, let's say. Yeah, so 100 employees put together sales and support functions, you are selling 1,000 computer or 1,000 vehicles, or it can be any kind of product, but for easy understanding, let's say computer. Yeah, So if you are 100 people are selling 1000 computer, then let's say in next year, how many computers you are trying to sell? So what is the target of the company? So company will have two kinds of target, financial and non-financials. And it will have a short term, mid term, and long term target. Short term is for the same year, mid term you can say 2 to 3 years, and long terms you can say 3 to 5 or 10 years, or depending upon the company. Yeah. So every year, what is the company target? If the company has not made the target, then you cannot make plan, because the plan starts from the goals. Unless and until you don't have a goals, you cannot make the plan. So the company has to make, the top management has to make a goal for the particular year. If you have already made it in 2024 for 2006 to 2027, it is easy, because you will now evaluate what was the goal for 2025, whether you have achieved, whether not achieved. So what is their plan for 2026? Once you get the target, I want to sell 1100, 1200, 1500, 2000. Based on that, you get the end result what company wants to achieve. Now once you know that goal, you will first see that how many people you have in organization right now, and what is their productivity. Each person is able to produce how much. So you have to now understand the productivity of each person, and the total achievement of this year divided by the per person productivity, you will get the per productivity of a person. So total how many computer you have sold, 1000. How many people sold? You have 100 people, so one person average 1 year sold is around 10 laptops. So if you have to sell around 1200, how many people unit is 120? How If you have to sell 1500, how many you want to how many people you need? 150. It's very normal calculation, but it's not too easy in HR, because you have a sales function, you have revenue functions, support functions, and everything is there. So once the support function doesn't increase the numbers so easily, only when the sales number increases. So it's very technically difficult. So we'll understand how to do it accurately. Yeah. So how many people you need minus how many people you have, you will get the how many people you need for the next year. So you need 120 people. How many people you have in this right now is 100 people. So what is the gap? 20 people is the gap. That's where you have the manpower planning. 120 people I have 100 people, so I have a gap of 20 people. Now where do I get this 20 people from? Am I going to do the in-house, find out this talent in-house within the organization with the existing employee, or I'm going to do the recruitment from outside? This is called manpower planning. Yeah. So therefore, you need to have annual target. You need to know what is my current people and what is the gap, and I will get the total number of difference, and how do I bring this people is where the manpower planning is. Now what happens if you have more people than required? Let's say you did the planning a little bit, you understand you need 120, but what if you did not have this proper planning, and you would have hired 130, 135 people with an excitement, okay, next year we'll do double business. So what you will have? You will have more people, less work, underutilized people, idle people. Some people have more work, some people have less work. So your organization is not properly managed. And then when you give more salary, you spend more money, your business is growing, but you're not making a profit because you have got overstaffing. Your manpower planning is not properly done. Second problem is that you have made your business is grown, but you have not hired the proper number. You didn't have a proper manpower planning. So what will happen is a shortage of staff. When you have a shortages of staff, you have the work overload. You have some people is really having too much of work. Some people have less work. You will have productivity loss, your operation will loss, your customer will complain because people are not getting services and products on time. Then what will happen? Your customers will go to somewhere else. So you will have a financial loss and you have operational loss. Therefore, having a right manpower planning is extremely vital for any organization. Now, when you do the manpower planning, being an HR or being a line managers, we need to understand this. Manpower planning is not about every year you are telling management or the company that these many people I need next year. It doesn't work in that way, because how many people you need next year depends on your business. Therefore, so your decision is linked with the company decision. So now, so your business, is in a three your business can be in three situations. One is your business is growing. Yeah, so you have made a target to sell 1000, you are selling 1100, 1500, 2000. This is where the business is continuously growing. The second situation is when the business is sustaining, sometimes 900, sometimes 1000, 100, sometimes 1000, here and there. So within the same target range, it's not going up, not going down, somewhere in the same scale, same goals. And the third situation is the business is declining. So more or less, when you need to do the recruitment or you do the proper formal organizational manpower planning, is in the step one when the company is really growing. So when the company is growing, then you need to hire more people to fill the requirements of the positions. But when the company is not growing, you are in a sustaining level, then you have to focus on your existing staff. And when your organization is declining, you freeze the recruitment and you focus on how do you utilize the existing people or how do you reduce the cost. So this is where first important thing is understand your business. So if you are a assistant manager, supervisor, recruiters, so we need a quick answer from the management. Yeah, when we need a budget, we need a budget. By 1st of January we need everything. But the problem here is not about giving answer to the recruitment team. It is about knowing the business situation. Yeah, what is our plan, what is our strategy? Because you have a competitor, you have the dynamic external environment where the government policies, industries, sectors, geopolitical issues, everything is going around you. You made a plan, but it will not go as per you because you have got internal factor and you have got external factor which is out of your control. So therefore your management needs to assess the external environment and internal environment to realign the goals for the next year. Because of this process, it will take some time to give the answer to the recruitment team. Now let's understand the business situation. It's in a growing stage. Yeah. So when the business situation is a growing stage, the HR strategy will find out two things. So one is it a vertical growth or is it a horizontal growth? Vertical growth means, let's say you are selling Samsung or iPhone, only one product, and you wanted to sell instead of 1000, 1500 iPhones. So the same product, you need same kind of skills, employees, same roles, only more people you need. So it's called vertical growth. Same business, same kind of a skill set required, same roles, only more people are required to do more sales. And the second is a horizontal growth. Now you are selling the mobile phones. Now you wanted to go into the service also. Now you want to go into the printer also. Now you wanted to go into a different, another new kind of product. So now the skill sets are different. Now you are into sales, you are going to service, or you are into one kind of product line, you need different kind of product line. Now the same people will not work. So you need to add new kind of roles, new kind of skill set, new kind of competency in the companies. So you have got one vertical growth. So when a company has a vertical growth as an HR strategy, so you need to go for promotions, you need to go for succession planning. So who is the performing, who will be his in positions? Mostly we do for leadership positions, but for the critical position also we can do. And how do we add new, whether we need to do the additions or we can utilize the existing resources. This is where we will focus on doing a training and development, doing a performance appraisal, promoting people, transferring people, job rotation, shadowing, mentoring. All these activities will happen in HR strategy. Now when it is a horizontal growth, then you may not be able to utilize the same kind of people. Now you need to bring a new talent, new skills, new competencies, because your product is changed, your service is changed, or something has been changed. So in this case, you will focus more on the recruitment part of it, hiring the people from the outside part. So you understand the vertical growth, focus more on how do you promote the existing people and bring the new people in the as a replacement, wherein the horizontal growth is most focused on external recruitment to fulfill the requirement. Now therefore in the manpower planning stage, how do you know that, let's say I'm increasing, how many people should I really increase? So there is a three kind of method generally the company follows. One is the top down method. In top down method, the company owner, if it is a small and medium sized company, the company owner will decide. If it is a management company, the management will just decide. Management will decide based on two things. One is in the data and in analytics, and second is the judgmental method, because they have so many years of experience, so they can use the expertise to decide how many people do I really need to add on each of the department, each of the business unit. The second approach is the top management will ask to the smallest segment of the organization. It could be a department, it could be sub-department, a vertical. They will ask the assistant managers to give their input. So some managers also, they will analyze the real business situations and they will give the requirement. I need these many salesmen, these many coordinators, these many technicians, these many workers, helpers, etc., etc. So they will give the input to the upline, and it goes to the upline to the top. The HR department will consolidate from all the department. They will sit and discuss with the top management. The top management will analyze the organization's profit and loss. How much is the profit and profit in this year? How much budget do we have? What are the business plan for the next year? How much of amount we are going to reserve for the human resource, for the salary for the next 6 months, etc., etc., etc. So you analyze the financial part of it. When you do the financial part of it, okay, you have this much of budget and this is what your business planning is. Now then the management will decide, okay, so this is the number new people additional I'm approving, these are the new promotions we are approving, these are the transfers and everything, we are approving it. Once you get the top management go ahead on that, then the manpower plan are freezed. Then the HR team or the department will then segregate the total requirement. Let's say in sales department we have got approval to bring another 10 people. So when are you going to hire this 10 people? January, February, March till December. You divide it into the quarter and divide into the month and hire. How do we do it technically? I will share the Excel sheet with you. You just have to fill the numbers, the data, the formulas and everything is there. You just have to fill the numbers and you can do your manpower planning. But fundamentally, the concept wise, you need to understand. I will give you the Excel sheets and I will give you the PPT. It will help you understand how to do it exactly. But right now in this video, I'm trying to give you the brief about how do we do it actually. So there are three methods: top down, bottom up method, a blended method. In blended method, we do both. Top management also will give input, bottom will also give input, will sit together, decide, finished. A small and medium sized company does this primarily. Now second is when you decide that as a manager, how do you decide that how many people to recommend? So it will depend upon three things: how many roles you have in that particular department, how many sales executive, how many service, how many technician workers, in each roles how many people you have, and what are their productivity. Okay, so what is the existing productivity? Let's say you are a department head only responsible to sell the mobile phones, right? So to sell 100 mobile phones you need how many? 10 salesmen. Each salesman sells 10 mobile phones, you achieve 100 target. So let's say this year you have achieved 120. So that means each salesman is producing selling 12 mobile phones. So next year if you have to sell 200 mobile phones, then you need to make sure you understand what is the per person productivity, that is 12. So 200 divided by 12, you will get the exact number how many salesperson you need, right? So you need to know the role, you need to know the quantity, you need to know their average productivity, and once you get the new year target, divide by the per person productivity, you will get the number how many people you need in your department. For support functions, you need to know the productivity. Similarly, a little bit difficult, not in numerical, but you have to use your statistics and experience to do that. So these are the three methods that we talk about. So if it is a vertical growth, focused more on the promotions and internal utilizing the existing resources. If it is a horizontal growth, then you will focus more on the recruitment, outside recruitment. In outside recruitment, first you will finalize the quarterly, then you will make it a monthly hiring plan, which will give it back to the recruiter, and recruiter will follow the recruitment plan and hire the people. In the second situation is where the business is sustaining. Yeah, so you are doing this now, manpower planning or the workforce planning. You say, how do you utilize the people now? I'm not going to recruitment too much here. It is we are talking about how do you utilize the existing resources. So your business is a sustaining mode. So now your business is in a sustaining mode. So business situation is not growing, but it's in a sustaining mode. So in this sustaining mode, what we do, we don't do the recruitment as normally, and we will only do the replacement hiring of the critical positions. So in this situation, what organizations does is, as per the Pareto principles, we divide the employee between 80-20 percentage. So 20% employee produces 80% result. So who are those 20% employee? We need to identify those employee, and one of the employee resigns, then only we replace them. Otherwise, the 80% people, if they resign, we do not replace. We do the job shadowing, job enrichment. We give the job and distribute job to other people and try to manage with the same people. In this case, we do the performance review. We identify the top performer, average performer, bottom performer. At the bottom performer, we try to replace them with the top performers. The average performers, we have to give a training and development, motivate them, and bring them into the top performer, high performer rating. And whosoever is the high performer, for them we do the appraisal. In the appraisal, financial and non-financial rewards we have to give them. In the revival modes, there is no new roles and no skills because the organization is not growing, so they don't need new skills and new competencies. So you manage the existing resources. So in the manpower planning, as I said to you, then you do the 80-20, and 20% people only you do the recruitment from outside, focus on the same employee, how to best utilize the existing workforce. You make the retain the top performers, do the appraisals, increment, promotion, give additional responsibility, train and develop the average performer, and remove the bottom performer. So this is what you do when your organization is sustaining mode. Now your organization is not achieving the target and slowly declining. What is the HR strategy? You do the recruitment freeze. You don't give the increments, you don't do new investment, you don't do recruitment. You freeze everything. And you do the performance review, identify who are the poor performer. You remove the poor performers, you remove the average performers also now, because you need to only focus on the top performers. Focus on the critical positions and the roles. Your organization has to now focus on critical positions and role. Only those people, very limited hiring you can do, otherwise you cannot focus more on the external recruitment. Utilize the existing resources, do performance management, all these activities, training and development and all that thing. Now, since we understand how to do the manpower planning, you have the organization three situations. In three situations, the HR strategy is different. Only in the growing organizations, you do a lot of recruitment or manpower planning and everything. And you use the top-down, bottom approach, or bottom-up approach, or blended approach, all three different approaches. Now, I will show you on the screen, and it helps you to understand how do we do typically manpower planning. This in the big organization, you have everything done through the systems, but in small organizations and all, we use the Excel sheet to do the manpower planning. So small and medium-sized organizations, or for the junior HR executives, for students, I will just give you one screen. So this screen will help you understand how does the manpower planning sheet look like. All right. Now, if you see here in the manpower planning, how to find how many people you needed. So let's say you are in A department and the business target is 120 units to sell. You have achieved 100 units in 2025. How many people you have? You have as 10 people to do that work. So 7 sales people, 3 support function people, HR, accountant, and admin people. Average performance of each staff is 10. Staff salary and benefits, how much you have spent? A. Let's say you can just put the number there in X number. Average per head cost is the total salary divided by number of employees. So total expense of staff, number of staff, you will get the average per head cost. New business target to achieve is 130. Before you had 120, now you have 130. Manpower required is business target divided by average performance. So what is the average performance of each staff? If you divide by the total target, you will get manpower required. New manpower required is now 13. Total budget required is new manpower required into per head cost. You will get the total budget, total money required for those many employees for 1 year. Staff required in revenue generation function is 70%. So if you make it 70% of the 13, you will get 9 people. And in the support function, 30% is people, will be 4 people. So new requirement of staff, 2 new salesmen and 1 coordinator. So quarter 1, you are going to decide, you've decided to hire 2 salesmen. Quarter 2, you are decided to hire 1 coordinator, and quarter 3, you have decided to hire 1 salesmen. So actually the new staff requirement is 3 and 1. So because of 4, so I by mistake I put 2 number. So you can consider as a 3 salesmen. So 2 you are hiring in Q1 and 1 person you are hiring in Q3. This is where this data will go to the recruitment department, and recruitment department will do the planning for the whole company. Thank you so much. This is how we do the manpower planning. I will share the Excel sheet and the PPT presentation. You can just go through it. It helps to understand the basics about the manpower planning. All the best, and you have a wonderful year ahead. Thank you.